if you look around us, we're actually in a truck towns, you know, along the way. We're on the way to this ancient village in the middle of nowhere, and we decided that we're going to be talking about money, since we've gotten lots of requests. Those of you who want quickly, while we're on the road. So catch you on the road. Right, Seamilk. So we're going to be talking about money. We're talking about money. And we're on this incredibly dangerous road, so let's try to be careful here.
Yeah, seriously.
You know how many close calls we've had so far? Absolutely right. So now we're talking about money. We're talking about money. Let's keep our speed low, otherwise we'll get too much wind noise. But
yeah,
anyway.
It's a windy day as well.
Yep. When you first came to China, how did you change money to the local currency? How did it all work for you?
I ended up going to the ATM, right? Mm-hmm. And I used my American bank card, and I was able to withdraw, I can't remember, a couple thousand RMB, right?
Yeah.
But what happened was, even though I had notified my bank in America that I was going to be in China, they still like blocked my account. So I was left in a pretty terrible situation where I couldn't use my bank account for another couple of weeks, right? You see this guy with his tattoo? Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
He's got scars and cut marks all over his body. He's definitely a mafia thug.
Well, you say he's a mafia thug. I think he's just a low-class dude who's got nothing better to do.
When I say mafia thug, I mean like a guy that probably they're like, Jim, go stab that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not like organized.
He'll stab someone for a bowl of rice.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I ended up having a really difficult situation there, but then after that my job started paying me in local currency. What about you?
Well, I had a really difficult time because basically I came here, I'd sold all my stuff, paid off my debt, and I had very little money left, and I bought it all in cash. Mm-hmm. Now, in turn, I changed over into RMB when I landed in Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. But I had the majority of my money in South African rands, you know, and I thought very naively that I'd be able to change in the banks here to the local currency. So when I ran out of my money that I had, I went to the bank to do a money transfer, and they said, sorry, we don't change this kind of money here. Right. And there was no bank that could do it. And you've got to understand, with the language barrier, it took me a long time to figure that out. It's not like they had someone in the bank speaking English saying, no, we can't do it. So I was just being like pushed away from every bank, and eventually I went online and was asking and stuff, and finally found out that it's not possible. So I actually had to go into Hong Kong, which sucked because I had a single entry visa. So I had to go into Hong Kong, apply for a new visa, and change my money at like a Hong Kong money changer on the side of the road.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I lost a lot of money, and also to get my visa to come back in, I had to buy a one-way plane ticket to prove that I was going to leave. So I lost pretty much a shitload of money.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of actual currencies, like Vietnamese currency and stuff, they won't actually change here in China.
I think literally it's just like euros, pounds, and dollars. Like, I don't know if they really, they probably do other ones like Japanese yen maybe, but you know.
Right.
Look at that guy over there doing a U-turn in front of all these people turning over.
This has been our reality the entire way, except at 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, just watch out for this white guy. White car,
this white car,
yeah.
Watch out.
Figured it out eventually, and yes, you can draw out of the ATMs here if you've got the arrangement with your bank, and that's what I suggest to all my subscribers is, you know, get some money changed over, but just have a setup with your bank that allows you to draw out of the ATM here.
And make sure they know that you're in China. I mean, I told them and they flagged my account, but I don't know why. They just were like, whoa, this is weird, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay, so now let's talk about actual moving money in and out. Like, what are the limits and how can you do it?
Sure.
So, yeah, you go ahead.
I remember when I first started a bank account, I wanted to move some money out.
Yeah.
And I actually had to do it with the help of a Chinese person. They had to actually do it in their name.
Yeah.
I was there, obviously, and the bank teller knew what was going on. It wasn't like a sketchy thing or anything, but it was a real big pain in the ass because, especially now, there's a big shortage of US dollars. So me and my wife we like to move a lot of our savings over to America.
Right.
Because the currency here is up and down, and obviously US dollars are quite a bit safer for savings for the future. But you know, the bank will run out of US dollars. They'll have limitations. She has to make an appointment to go change the money. Number two, I'm not allowed to do it anymore. It has nothing to do with me, so I'm not allowed to change over into US dollars. I can only change US dollars into RMB.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, you know, right from the beginning, like even 10 years ago, I tried to send a payment back home.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was for, but I thought it'd be fairly easy, just like anywhere else. You go to the bank, you fill out some forms, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they wanted to have my proof of residence in China. They wanted like pay slips from my work. They wanted,
I needed that as well.
Like all sorts of things which I didn't have because when I first got here, I wasn't on a work visa. I wasn't working. Yeah, I was on a tourist visa through the banks. It was ridiculous, but I just had to like accept it. I couldn't do it, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, and now they've got that rule, like you said, where foreigners can't change money, usually one and the same thing. They've been trying to funnel their money out of China, basically, because they're worried about the economy. So they've been changing into US dollars and then like sending it overseas and buying property in Australia and Canada and America and stuff like that, right?
Actually, just recently I met a friend of a friend from Macau.
Yeah.
And he actually he runs an insurance company with his other friends, but the insurance company is actually a 3-year insurance plan that doesn't really cover anything. Okay. What happens is it just washes your money to Macau dollar or Macau pesetas or Hong Kong dollars, and then they can ship it out. So all of their customers are rich mainland officials usually.
I get it. Yeah, that's
and they're
clever.
Buying these really expensive policies, and you know, not getting hurt or whatever, and then the money is changed over.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
No questions asked.
Nice. Yeah,
not nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty interesting scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the reason why foreigners can't change into US dollars anymore, because you were able to at some point.
Yeah, I did. I believe I did.
You still needed a lot a month, so I needed to pay for the car up front. And yeah, I had to eventually resort to going to Hong Kong and sending it through my Hong Kong bank account.
Sure.
Which I'm going to have to put a warning out there. It's not easy to get a Hong Kong bank account at all. No. Really, it used to be, but now, again, because of this whole money laundering and all this capital flight, they've made it very difficult. You need proper reasons to open it up. You know, and a lot of proof of residence from your home country and all that kind of thing. So it's actually quite difficult. I only got mine because I was married to a Hong Kong resident, remember?
Right.
And even then, they were, you know, saying that's not a good enough reason. But I eventually convinced them. So yeah, that's the way I got the money out was through Hong Kong.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's also a maximum limit you're allowed to take out in renminbi. I think it's like 50,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only allowed to change $5,000 US at a time. Or not me, my wife is.
Okay.
And then she has to wait.
Yeah. America has a 10,000 US dollar limit to bring in, right?
Yeah,
in
that's
cash.
right. That's right.
Yeah, but there's a 5,000 US dollar limit to take out of China.
Well, it's a $5,000 limit per time you go to the bank.
Oh, per time you go to the bank. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's true. And like you said, they have to make appointments and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's more or less the money climate at the moment here. You know, the RMB down. You know, it used to be much stronger, but it's gone down, but it's more or less stable at the moment.
Yeah.
But you'll find that people aren't all that, how can you say, confident.
The feeling has changed.
Yeah, I mean, in the past it was infallible, right? The economy was just going up and up and up. Now that it's plateaued, people are starting to look for ways to invest outside. Yeah. Right, so I mean, I guess that's it. There's not much more we can say about it, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to tell our subscribers? It's kind of a boring topic, right?
Well, I mean, we've had it requested quite a few times, so it's good to cover it. Hopefully it was useful. You know, we're talking about money, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this before, but it costs no money to like, comment, and subscribe.
That's absolutely right. Oh, yeah, watch that guy. He's certainly not awesome. Yeah, this is where they put the water in the truck's brakes.
Yeah.
That mess up the road. Who are trying to move money in or out of China, whether or not you have money or not. Remember, unlike that guy who will try to pull out in front of us, as always, stay awesome.